Hi, I'm Mike. Spring is a time for new beginnings on the ranch, and today we get ready for a real beginning, and that's a new life. Ready to emerge and take on new challenges as yet unknown. We're going to look at how we meet those challenges head on as calving season 2019 gets started on our Wyoming Life. Welcome back to Our Wyoming Life, and thanks for coming along once again. Today, it's all about new beginnings, and spring is the best place to meet them head on, right here on the ranch. Please join us as we explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary. Subscribe so that you don't miss a thing this calving season, because we have a lot going on, including a mom that is calving out there right now, and we're going to go and check on her in just a few minutes. We have 150 ladies out here, most of them waiting to have a calf. Some aren't pregnant, and it's pretty easy to determine at this point just who isn't by looking at them. The ones that look like they've swallowed a propane tank, those are the pregnant ones. And they'll let you know if you have ever been around a pregnant woman, and I've been around one at least 3 different times, and you know there comes a point when the only thing they want to do is give birth. Also, being the only guy around here, I think they blame me, and I get a lot of sideways glances and some dirty looks. Although some try to butter me up. That's a different tactic, and it still doesn't work. When a cow gives birth, it's out of our control. It's roughly 283 days after their date with the bull, but it can be affected by barometric pressure, temperatures, and even the moon's cycle. As any nurse who's ever worked labor and delivery will tell you, things do pick up when that big old silver dollar in the sky is shining down on us. With not knowing the day or time we're going to start calving, we're left guessing, but that doesn't mean that we're left unprepared. Based on previous years, we know that early calves are possible, and when they do come, they can have trouble. Many times, early calves are born premature. Now, based on the day that the bulls went out, no cow should be full term until April 6th. So any calf born before then is likely to have trouble. Add in some weather, rain, or snow, and the first few hours of a new calf's life can become very difficult. Any rancher or anybody in charge of animals or livestock needs to be part veterinarian. You need to be able to at least assess and ascertain if an animal needs help medically, and also make the determination if you're able to administer that help. Gilbert, my father-in-law, who brought us here, hated this part of the job. He couldn't or wouldn't give a calf a shot. He didn't like watching somebody pull a calf, and he sure as hell didn't want to be the one to do it himself. On the flip side, one of his best friends was a licensed veterinarian, so he had backup that he could count on. Nowadays, here in Campbell County, finding a vet that can come out and help at the drop of a hat is pretty much impossible, especially when it comes to cattle, and during calving season when hundreds of ranchers are pulling our 2 mobile vets in 8 different directions. A few years ago, I decided that in order to help our herd, I'd learn as much as I could medically about cows and calving. I sought out vets who could teach me how to give a cow an epidural, how to place an IV, and how to manage an airway. These were often the very same vets that would come if we had to call them. And in those situations, I think they realized that the more I knew, the more it would help them as well. Although sometimes vets do call and ask me to go give them a hand and take a look at a patient they can't get to right away. When a calf is born on the ranch, I like to be there as soon as possible after the birth. During calving season, we'll check cows every 2 to 6 hours depending on weather and conditions. When we notice a cow showing signs of calving, we can start keeping an eye on her, although she may still be hours, days, or even weeks away from having her calf. But when that moment finally happens and a calf is on the ground, that's when we need to be there. And we better bring along some tools with us. I call this my first in bag. In this bag, we keep everything we may need to help a cow or a calf in the pasture. We have many more tools in the shop, but this bag is full of what we can do right then and there. If a calf needs more help than we can give in the pasture, then it's only a quick gator ride to better facilities and better equipment. The gator, over the next few months, basically becomes an ambulance, taking calves in or out to pasture. And without it, that job would be much more difficult. The equipment I carry with me all the time, whether I'm in the gator checking cows or in the tractor feeding, it's mostly held within this one single bag. Some of the supplies we carry include scalpels for emergency C-sections in the field. These are usually fatal to the mom, but can hopefully save a calf. We have drugs including epinephrine to help get a calf up and moving if we have to. And we carry along chains and straps to help pull a calf if it's stuck or a breech birth. In another bag, a tool to help clean a calf's airway and help it breathe if needs be. A calf was just born out here in the pasture only a few minutes ago. Mom's been out here cleaning it up, and she's just now finishing doing that, so it's time for us to go out and take a look and see how it's doing. Also in my bag, I carry tagging equipment, tags and a tagging gun. Each calf that is born is going to get a number. Now, some ranchers will match tag numbers up to their moms, but I like to sequentially number my calves so that I know exactly how many are out here. I write down in my record book which calf belongs to which mom, the sex of the calf, the color, and any other notes that I may think are relevant, which will eventually be entered into a computer program where we keep track of our herd, their genetics, and their lines. Tagging is a great time to evaluate the calf. Those that have even had a CPR course will remember the ABCs, airway, breathing, and circulation, all of which can be assessed very quickly. But I've found that sometimes that's not all you need to do, and that's not all you need to look at. So I've taken the ABCs and extended them out for use out here in the pasture. And they became the doctor ABC, Ds, and Es. The doctor part is for danger. Before you can do anything with a calf, you have to know how the mom is going to react to you being there. Some cows don't care. Others, especially in the early weeks of calving, will be very leery of you being around. Look at the danger. See if it's worth getting out, and get help if you need it, or find a way to distract the mom. Then you can worry about the A, B, C, Ds, and Es. Airway, breathing, and circulation. Those remain the same. But out here we also need to take a look at the Ds. D stands for disability, deformity, or dysfunction. Those are pretty apparent right away, but will be cause for a calf to come in for further inspection. Then we have E, which stands for environment. Is it too cold or wet for a calf to get dried off properly? Did the mom have the calf in an undesirable or unsafe area? Can we move the calf? Or do we need to get the calf and hopefully the mom into shelter, or maybe even into the barn or the calf warmer? This little one is doing just fine. Mom is very protective, which is actually a good sign. He is very small. We hope for a birth weight of about 75 pounds for a bull calf. Now, I didn't get a chance to weigh him, but I would say that he weighs probably around 50 pounds. With lacking that 25 pounds, he's also missing the fat to help keep him warm. Luckily, the weather is okay. He should be just fine for now, but we're going to keep a very close eye on him. After all, he is our only calf. If he's unable to maintain his body temperature and starts to become hypothermic, we may actually take him away from his mom for a little bit to warm him up until they can be reunited in the barn, where the temperature can be more easily regulated. Until then, time will tell, and we'll wait and see, and we'll welcome calving season 2019. So this is just one calf. We have way over 100 calves to go, and 10% of those births are going to need help. Some sort of help from us. So we're going to be busy, and I hope that you can come along. Please subscribe. Let's explore the ranch life together, because there's always a surprise just around the next corner. Like us on Facebook for daily updates on calving, behind the scenes footage, and much, much more. We'll see you next time. But until then, have a great week, and thanks for joining us in our Wyoming Life.